In this video, I'll show you exactly how to build this amazing dynamic navbar that changes its background color based on the color of the section it's scrolling past through using React.js. So as you can see here, the navbar is initially white because the section behind it is white. Now as I scroll through, as soon as the navbar touches the black section, the background color of the navbar also changes to black. Isn't that cool? Now if I keep scrolling, the same thing continues to happen. Every time there's a white section, the navbar turns white, and every time there's a black section, the navbar turns black. This is what we are going to build, and you will learn a lot in the process. So here, you can see I have an app.jsx and styles.css file. We will be working on these two files only. First, I'll start by importing the styles.css file. Then within the app component, I'll first create the HTML layout, which is the navbar and 5 content divs. So within this app div, I will add a HTML nav tag with navbar as its inner text. Then after this, I will create a div with the class name of content div, and it will have an inner text of content1. I will then copy this div and paste it 4 more times with the inner text of content div 2, 3, 4, and 5 respectively. After that, I'll give different heights to each of these content divs. So 80 VH to the first one, 50 VH to the second, 60 VH to the third, 40 VH to the fourth div, and 100 VH to the last content div. Then I'll quickly add some styling. I'll go to the styles.css. Here, I'll apply some styles to the nav element or the navbar basically. So this will have a position of fixed, top 0, left 0, width of 100%, a height of 50px, display of flex, justify content of center, align items of center, a darkish gray box shadow, text color of red, and a smooth transition for the background color change, where the color will change after 0.3 seconds with ease. Do note that I haven't yet set a dynamic background color for the navbar yet, but I will soon. After this, I'll quickly style the content divs. It will have a display of flex, justify content and align items of center, font size of 24px, text align of center and color of red. After that, I'll select all the odd content divs and give it a background color of black. And to the even content divs, I'll give a background color of white. And now let's add the functionality where the navbar changes its background color based on the color of the section it's scrolling past through, which is either white or black. So first, I'll create a state navbar background color initialized with the color white, because by default we're considering the first content div to be white. Then after that, I'll create a use effect, and within this use effect, I will listen to the scroll event listener, because of course, we need to change the navbar's background color depending on when it scrolls past through the individual content divs. And this scroll event listener will execute a function named handleScroll upon every scroll. Now within the handleScroll function, I will first select all the elements with the class name content div and then store them in the divs variable. Then I'll also select the nav element on the page and store it in the navbar variable. After that, I'll create a for loop that iterates over each element with the class content div and checks if it's currently visible on the screen by comparing its position with the position of the navbar. So for that, I'll first extract the individual div we are looping through. Then I'll get the size and position of that div using the getBoundingClientRect method in JavaScript. And I'll store its value in a variable named rect. After that, I'll also extract the position of the bottom of the navbar using navbar.getBoundingClientRect.bottom and then store its value in the variable navbar_bottom. Then I need to check if the top of the current div is above or at the same level as the bottom of the navbar, and also if the bottom of the div is below or at the same level as the bottom of the navbar. If that's the case, then it means the navbar is touching or scrolling past the div. So I'll write if rect.top is less than equal to navbar_bottom and rect.bottom is greater than equal to navbar_bottom, then I'll extract the background color of that particular div the navbar is scrolling past through using window.getComputed_style method in JavaScript, which simply returns an object containing the values of all CSS properties of an element. And after that, I'll update the nav background color state to the background color of the div we extracted just now. And then I'll break out of this loop so the remaining iterations don't happen until we haven't scrolled past the current div. Now that we have the background color state updated based on the div we scroll past through, it's time to set this background color to the navbar. So in the nav element here, I'll give an inline style where the background color will be set to the nav background color state. And lastly, in the use effect, I'll add a cleanup function that removes the scroll event listener to prevent memory leaks when the component unmounts. And now with that, if I refresh the page and then start scrolling, you can see the moment I touch the black content div, the navbar becomes black. And the moment I touch the white content div, the navbar becomes white, and so on. So this is how you build a dynamic navbar that changes its background color based on the color of the section it's scrolling past through. If you found the video insightful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more.